To assemble a tail rotor hub, we need the tail rotor hub parts from the kit. That's going to be the two holders and the hub itself along with the related bolts, a 1.5 and 2.5 millimeter hex driver, some blue thread lock, and if you're going to put the tail rotor blades on now, we need the blades because they need to be installed before it goes on the tail rotor. First we want to install the control balls on the ends of the tail rotor blade arms. The blade holders come pre-assembled. They have all the bearing stacks in them and lubricated. We just need to apply these two 107 balls, use blue thread lock, and take the tail rotor hub. You can see this is different than some of the traditional miniature aircraft hubs. It's thick all the way to the end and then threaded. The blade holders just slip right over this hub at this point. The tail rotor blade arms are going to be fastened onto the hub with M3x8 socket head bolts with small washers. You're going to want to use blue thread lock on this and be careful not to get any in the bearings. The easiest way to tighten these up is to put a screwdriver or some other round tool through the hole of the center hub or the tail rotor hub, and then just tighten these down one at a time. You don't want these to be too tight, but you definitely want them to be snug. The blade holder will turn very freely. What I'm going to do is the same thing on the other side. Once you have the blade holders assembled to the hub, we can put the blades in. The blades go so that the leading edge of the blade aligns with the ball, and you're going to put the bolt in from the side of the holder that's flat. There's two sides, one's flat, one has a notch in it. The notch is where the nut's going to go, so that it basically it holds the nut in place. You don't have to use a wrench. Going to do the same thing on the other side. Once you've got the blades on, you're going to want to balance this. That's why we've put the blades on the hub before it goes onto the transmission. You want to put this on a standard wheel balancer. Make sure it's perfectly balanced. This is a build video, so I think balancing is a little out of scope. I'm not going to go into detail on that. But if you're not gonna balance it, then obviously you don't need to go through that step. But you're likely to get a tail rotor vibration if you don't. Okay, once the blades are on, we're going to mount the hub and blade assembly on the transmission. You can see there's a dimple in the shaft. There's one on the other side. We're going to want to line up the hole in the hub here with that. We want to make sure the pitcher mechanism arms are out of the way. Hang onto the gear here so it can't turn. And you're just going to slide this on. Line up the hole. And we're going to use these two M3 dog bone tipped set screws to hold this on. When you're installing the hub on the shaft, you're going to tighten these set screws kind of in unison. You'll feel one of them slip into the little recess. Then as it slips in, you'll go to the other side, tighten it in. What's going to happen is it's a very tight fit in those recesses, so you want to kind of work these back and forth. Use blue thread lock on this, and that takes care of the hub. The last thing we want to do is pop the control links over the ball ends. Best way to do this is to line them up on each side at the same time, because these things they will get into a tension situation if you do one but not the other. And then pop one on and then pop the other on. At that point you've got a working tail rotor mechanism. That completes the tail rotor transmission.